Wesley, the Gizmo guy here. Today I just want to show you some of the difference that I have noticed about the difference on the different versions of a new iPhone. Right now I just got this new iPhone 7 and I have a little time to play with it, so I got to know a little better. So you notice that this is the iPhone 7 with dual camera and there's no headphone jack here. And also I have the iPhone 6s and also the iPhone 6, as well as the I don't have an iPhone 5, but I do have an iPod Touch 5, so you'll see that. Okay, well, this iPhone Touch 5 has this little thing. I just noticed, I don't know what this is, but it has a single camera thing. It's very similar. See, this is iPhone 7, this is iPod Touch 5. So I want to point out some of the difference I have noticed about the different phones. So let me point out the obvious, which everybody knows, which is start with the 7. 7 has a dual camera thing, and it's almost exactly the same as the iPhone 6s. The only difference is the camera and the headphone jack thing. You'll notice that the iPhone 6s still has the headphone jack, where the iPhone 7 doesn't have the headphone jack. So I just want to point out some of the difference I have noticed. So I just got the iPhone 7 for some reason, even though it's virtually the same as iPhone 6s, but visually it looks slightly bigger. But you put it next to each other, they look almost identical, but visually I guess maybe it's due to the colors or whatever. This is the pink one, the rose gold or rose pink, and this is the champagne color one. I guess the color does make a visual difference, because you can see that they're identical in size, but somehow this iPhone 7 does look slightly bigger. And the main thing that I do notice is that with the case, so you would think that the iPhone 6 case would work on the iPhone 7 since they're identical in size, but there's a major difference. Let me show you what the difference is. So I have an extra couple extra case for the new iPhone 6. So let me show you what the difference is. So this is the iPhone 6s, and we'll put the case on. So that's how the case fits, with the camera exposed. And this is actually a good case from, it doesn't matter. So this is what the iPhone 6 case look like. iPhone 6 with the case. So now we're going to put the exact same case for the iPhone 7. And you'll notice that it goes in perfectly, fit exactly, but with one major problem. Look, the camera thing does not work. The same case for the iPhone 6 does not work on the iPhone 7. Okay, Apple, you're such a bastard. So you notice that you're gonna have to get a new case for the new iPhone 7 if you're going from iPhone 6s Plus to iPhone 7 Plus. The same exact case, even though you fit perfectly, but the camera thing will not work. I mean, you'll still protect the phones and everything, but you will not be able to use the camera. So let's see what the camera would see when we activate the camera. So we'll go to camera, and camera, it's coming up. Well, see, camera will not activate because this thing. So, well, actually it does. Okay, so now you can see that it actually blocks out. This is what the camera look like if you use an iPhone 6s case for the iPhone 7. It blocks out most of the camera, most of the lens, so it will not work. But if you want to take a selfie, I would imagine it will still work. So that's iPhone 7. I mean, if you want to take a selfie, it's fine. So the case will still protect the phone, but it will render the camera useless. So let me try on a different case. Let me try this case. This is a different kind of case that I have for the iPhone 6s, because I was hoping that they are interchangeable, but they are not. So this is another case that I like. So this is what the case looks like with the iPhone 6s. And now we're going to try the exact same case on the iPhone 7. See, that case is a little snug, but that's why this is made it that way. So we'll use the same exact case for the new iPhone 7. Once again, you'll notice that the camera is being blocked off, but this one actually works a little better. You can see that you can actually kind of see me with the camera. I mean, it's still being blocked off, but not as bad as the other one. So this is what the camera looks like with the case on, and this is what the viewfinder sees. It blocks off, so basically you can use the same case for the iPhone 7. So Apple is pretty smart. You're gonna have to get a new case for it for your new iPhone 7. But I guess it's not a big deal, but you know, it's still a big deal because you're gonna have to spend some money to get a new case for your new iPhone 7. Additionally, the difference also that I noticed is that the headphones. You know that the headphones. This is the 6. This is the case that comes with the iPhone 6s, and this is obviously the new headphone jack for the new iPhone 7, the lightning plug. So that's the difference. Okay, 3.5mm lightning plug. And the 7 does come with the little extension. This is new 7. It comes with the extension, so that way you can still use the 3.5mm headphones with the new 7. So you just plug it in here, and then you put the headphone in like this. The side note is that my transmitter will work with all iPhones, so you can still work with the 7 in case if you're wondering. See, it works. Oh, you can see my other video to see how it works and everything, but I just want to point that out. So this works for this is how the setup for the iPhone 7. If you want to listen to music, charging and everything has to go through to this lightning plug. So if you want to use the headphone, you're going to need to have this little dongle extension to make it work. So naturally, you will wonder, would this lightning plug work with the 6s? Shit. Okay, so I tried it out and it does work. So you can plug in the lightning plug thing, the extension for the dongle for the iPhone 6s, and you can plug it in here, and you can use the old iPhone as well, like this. But there's a downside and there's a problem. Not really a problem, but the difference is, since I cannot play the music loud for you to hear, I'm just going to point out the difference. The main difference with this versus when you plug it in to the headphone thing, the headphone jack here, is that when you use the lightning plug to plug into the iPhone 7, even though the headphones are identical in both iPhone 6, iPhone 7 headphones, they look identical. The only difference is the headphone parts of the earphone. But when you use the lightning plug to plug into your 7 or 6, the music sings louder. It's about 20 or 30% of loudness. So it is a noticeable difference when you use this headphone, the new headphone that come with the iPhone 7. You plug into the iPhone 7, it sounds louder than if you use the iPhone 6 plug and plug into the dongle or the extension. So what I mean by that is when you plug this into this, like this, and you plug into the new iPhone 7, the music is not as loud as this one. Okay, the sound quality, it's slightly better, but it's subjective. It really depending on how your ear is, and it's a matter of preference and all that stuff. But the loudness, there's a distinguishable difference between this and that. Actually, yes, the 6 headphones are not as loud as the 7. The 7s are about 30%, 20-30% louder than the iPhone 6. So that is the major difference. And also, then you will wonder, would this headphone work with the iPhone 5 or iPhone 5? I don't know about iPhone 5, but I would imagine iPhone Touch 5 would be exactly the same as iPhone 5. So when you use the new lightning plug headphones that come with the iPhone 7, you plug into the iPhone 5 or iPod Touch 5, it does not work. Even though it is still the lightning plug, but the iPhone 7 headphone does not work with the iPhone 5 or iPod Touch 5. Weird, but it doesn't work. So, and also I tried it with the iPhone 6, the regular headphone with 3.5mm plug into the lightning plug, the dongle that come with the iPhone 7, and also try that out. Try to work with the iPod Touch 5 or the iPhone 5 one with lightning plug. It does not work either. So basically, this new headphone for the iPhone 7 or this dongle with the iPhone 7 will not work with your iPhone 5. iPhone 5, I guess, is made differently. So the lightning plug, even though it's same lightning plug, is exactly the Apple lightning plug technology, it does not work on the 5. It only works on the 6S, and it works on the 6. It works on the 6 just fine. I guess the 6 has the newer technology that will work with the lightning plug and the iPhone 7 headphones, but the iPhone 5 will not work with the either one of anyway. So the iPhone 5 will not work with the lightning plug as far as with the earphone goes. You can still charge it and everything, everything's the same, but the headphone doesn't work. And the iPhone 6 works. The iPhone 6s Plus also work, but with the iPhone 7, you will need to have the dongle or the extension to work with 3.5mm headphones, and the sound quality is not as good as a lightning plug. So I guess that is part of the difference in the evolutions of what the iPhone is doing. So I just want to point that out of the difference I have noticed. So the other than what you already know through the news and everything, what Apple announced, I'm just pointing out all the major difference that you notice that hasn't been talked about. So iPhone 7, iPhone 6 looks the same. It weighs about the same too, but the difference is just the headphone thing. So, if you're happy with the iPhone 6s, there's really no reason to switch to iPhone 7. 7 just got a little bit more features, but the zoom camera, with the zoom lens and the dual camera thing is really cool. But you may want to use a DSLR or camera for that. And of course, the difference would be the button, the home button. You notice that the home button is actually a real button with the indentation where it's, you know, you can feel it. There's a thing there. In the iPhone 7, um, it's not as obvious. You can, I don't know if you can see the difference or not. So anyway, those are the differences that I have noticed between the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 7, and I just want to point those out, and that's what I found out, and I want to share it with you. So once again, this is Wesley, the Gizmo Guy. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you get something out of this video. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Bye bye.